This is the Herd Line News.
Well, let's head over to that other team in Texas, the Texans. Deshaun Watson's future with the Texans is in limbo, but if he were to be traded, he apparently has a certain destination in mind. Former teammate Kareem Jackson told Aqib Talib on his Catch and Fades podcast that Watson has his eyes set on playing for the Broncos.
Yeah, I got a great relationship with Deshaun. I've been talking to him the last couple of weeks, man, and like all he's been telling me is like, look, Jack, just tell him like that's where I want to be. Like that's why I want to be. He like, man, listen, that's why I want to be in Denver. The
Watson trade conversation pretty much got shut down once all of the allegations came out.
Right.
So this was a bit of news yesterday, just hearing anything about Deshaun Watson and certainly anything about the trade possibility, because we did know that there were a few destinations that he was interested in.
Yeah.
Denver has become like the hot spot now.
Well, they've got really good players. I mean, I think players.
It's not an ideal division.
No, but generally great athletes want to compete. So, I mean, I think great athletes want to play. Great athletes don't worry about the competition. They worry about, can I fit? And I think we've said this for years. What's disappointing about Drew Lock is this team's ready to win. If you put Aaron or Deshaun in this thing, this is not a Drew Lock doesn't have support. Their offensive line last year, their left tackle was a Pro Bowler. They've got really good backs. They've drafted a receiver well.
Yeah.
The tight end is excellent. Now their defense was bad, especially at corner, but they appear to have solved that. Kyle Fuller from Chicago, and they drafted a corner. So Patrick Surtain from Alabama. So
they have a great quarterback tradition.
Great fans. They have an altitude advantage early in the year. They always have. It's one of the best September winning percentages last 30 years. So I think fans may not look at Denver, but I think players look at Denver and think they got dudes. They got dudes. They got an old pass rusher, Von Miller. They got a new pass rusher, Bradley Chubb.
Well, I mean, everyone that plays in Denver loves it, and it's a great organization, a great fan base, and great city. I'm not saying it from that perspective. I'm just saying, like, for Aaron Rodgers to end up in Denver, you're in a tough division now. Like, he's still obviously in his prime, but that's a harder division to win than the one that you're currently in.
Not even close.
And then, I mean, AFC South is a completely different conversation. So I think that's the most ideal place you want to be in if you're a high level quarterback. But obviously you're with the Texans, which are a completely dysfunctional organization. So that matters as well. I think Denver is a great destination for a quarterback. I'm just looking at it as you have to win your division first. So if you're going to preferred spaces, you have to look at it from that perspective as well as what you're going to have around you. So Giants running back Saquon Barkley says he's doing well with his ACL rehab, but he doesn't want to put a timetable on his return just yet. So he said, you know me, I'm going to take it one day at a time, just come in with my head down, ready to work. I'm going to be whenever my body tells me I'm ready, I'm able to show everyone I'm ready again. That's when I'm going to be able to go out there and hopefully be elite, what I was before, but even better. He suffered a torn ACL as well as an MCL and meniscus damage last season in week 2 against the Bears.
It's an interesting division. I was looking at the Fox Bet over-unders on this division, and they go in line. Dallas is favored at 9.5 wins. No, wait. Dallas 8.5 or 9.5? Washington's 8.5. Dallas 9.5. Washington 8.5. Giants 7.5. Eagles 6.5. Eagles under, to me, is the best bet in the division. Everything else after that depends on injuries. I do think the Giants actually, Dave Gettleman has solved some of their issues. They went big into free agency, which I don't love, but the good thing what the Giants did, they have surrounded Daniel Jones with so many good players, there's no excuses.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a problem with them going big in free agency. Yeah. You have to find out what you have in Daniel Jones. I think he has something. And one of the rules on this show is that we'll know by Thanksgiving if we're going to stick with Daniel Jones or not.
You'll know if he's good.
Which I think is fair. I think getting Saquon back will be a massive part of that. I think Saquon is the juice in the soul of this team, especially on offense. So, we're not sure if he's going to be ready at the beginning of the season. Season opens September 12th against the Broncos. Hopefully he'll be available. If he's not available at the opener, he'll be available at the beginning of the season. But the Giants are just such an interesting team to me this year. Like, I really want to see, and I think they're going to be a lot better than people think that they are.
Well, there's always a team in this league. I mean, our entire life, every single year, there's a team that pops, and we didn't see it coming. Like, we know Minnesota is going to be better than last year. Like, Minnesota's going to...
The injuries were ridiculous.
So they won 5 or some games. We know they'll be better. But there's always a team that pops, and you look up and you're like, wow. And it would not shock me in December if it's the Giants. They have that kind of... Their defense is great. That we like their coach. I mean, like, by the way, Miami last year was the team that we looked up and went, oh, my God, they're 10-6. Like... I guess
there's always a team that we think is going to be great
right.
that completely falls off. So the Blazers recently let go of head coach Terry Stotts. Some names have been thrown around about potential hires, but one person who has apparently expressed interest is Nets assistant coach Mike D'Antoni. He joined the Nets after a 4-year run as the Rockets head coach. D'Antoni's currently 20th all-time in wins. I don't know if I love D'Antoni to the Blazers.
Yeah, offense is not their problem. They need defense. Like, he's just more of what they have.
And I do think D'Antoni will get another coaching job.
Yeah.
It's not that. I don't know that that's where they need the enhancements. When the Blazers don't have a problem scoring points, their system with that is fine. Chauncey Billups is favorite right now to get the job at -200, according to Fox Bet. Sam Cassell, Juwan Howard, Dave Yoger at +550, and David Vanderpool at +700 are the odds on Fox Bet right now. Chauncey Billups is very interesting as well.
No, Chauncey's been a broadcaster.
He's an assistant coach with the Clippers right now.
I was going to say, he's never been a head coach. Yeah, he's been an assistant. Yeah, Chauncey would be good because he was a grinder, and that's what the